A debt settlement arrangement, or DSA, is a deal that can be arranged through the Personal Insolvency Act 2012. It involves the final settlement of any amount of unsecured debt, that is, any debt not including mortgage debt. The aim of the arrangement is to write off debt to the extent necessary to make you solvent. So a DSA is a deal between you and your lenders which involves potentially very substantial debt write-downs. Putting it very simply, you live within reasonable living expenditure guidelines agreed with your lenders and make payments to them from any excess income. At the end of the deal, the remaining debt is written off. In order to be eligible to apply for a DSA, you must be unable to pay your unsecured debts as they fall due. In practice, if you have unmanageable unsecured debt repayments on a monthly basis, you are insolvent and eligible to consider a DSA. A PIP is a personal insolvency practitioner licensed by the ISI. A PIP is a bit like a referee who attempts to broker a deal between you and your lenders. New Beginning Preferred PIPs have an enormous experience in this area and have arranged thousands of similar deals for people who are insolvent. Firstly, you must speak to a personal insolvency practitioner, or PIP, and they will work out with you to see if a DSA can be applied to your circumstances. Once you've agreed a potential DSA with the PIP, they will seek a protective certificate from the courts to buy time for negotiation with your lenders. This protective certificate is a ring of steel around you during which no lender can come near you or your assets. These are a set of guidelines prepared by the Insolvency Service of Ireland, which outline acceptable minimum standards of living. The guidelines form a basis on what you would be expected to live on if entering a deal. While the PIP will have regard to these guidelines, other issues like healthcare needs, travel needs for work, childcare, elderly care will have to be taken into account, which would increase the scope for expenditure. No, it doesn't. You can't be asked to live below the reasonable living expenses guidelines. Many people, it must be said, are living below these guidelines already. These guidelines, I must mention, are the minimum and can be much greater than this. The New Beginning Preferred PIPs will not charge you for a review of your case and for putting a deal into place. However, they do get paid from the deal as it progresses, which means that in effect the lenders are paying. That depends on the deal you do, but in general it can't go beyond 5 years. But there is a provision for it to be extended to a 6th year in certain circumstances. And remember, at the end, if you've met your side of the deal, any remaining unsecured debt is written off. The PIP cannot put forward a proposal that you don't agree to. All proposals must have borrower and also lender buy-in. If nobody can agree a deal, or a deal is not voted for by the lenders, you may consider the alternative arrangement of bankruptcy. As mentioned, the lenders must vote whether to accept the deal, and lenders representing at least 65% of the debt must agree to this. In the UK, where the system is in place for many years, over 90% of cases are agreed. If you're entitled to receive pension income or pension lump sum, it'll be treated as an income or an asset for the purposes of a DSA. The terms of the DSA may provide for some or all of that pension lump sum or income to be paid to your creditors while the DSA is in effect. Of course, this can't happen without your consent. Many people's financial situations will change over the period of the deal. If your circumstances change during the period, you must inform the PIP. The PIP may advise you that you need to apply for a variation of the original agreement, which reflects your new circumstances. In most cases, the original deal will allow you to increase your income by a certain amount before having to make greater payments to your lenders. At New Beginning, we believe DSAs can provide great solutions to many people with debt problems. So why not contact us to arrange to speak to our preferred PIPs? It won't cost you anything, and you've nothing to lose.